What is going on, Ledge Riders, and welcome back to Sam's Bikes. And today, we're turning my stock Levo 160, 150 travel into a downhill monster 180, 170 with the Cascade Link. I've also selected a whole bunch of products here that are going to give us even more compliance out in the trail. Okay, Legend Riders, a quick word from our amazing sponsor, Topeak. Topeak came on as a major sponsor at Sam's Bikes 18 months ago. And that was really special to me because I started using Topeak tools like when I was 18, bought my first multi-tool, and I've loved their tools ever since. And riders, I often get asked which is my favorite tool in this beautiful workshop here. And I'd have to say, this is a tool I use the most. This is the Torque Stick Pro, and check it out. It's absolutely amazing. So we've got T30 to T6, we've got 1.5 Allen key to 10, we've got a torque wrench here going from 0 to 20. We've also got a small wrench here for those tighter to reach spots. And also this little tool here, which is absolutely perfect for putting on water bottles. And riders, I do put on a lot of water bottles for my test bikes, and I absolutely love this tool. If I was going to recommend just one tool to get for your home garage work studio, this would be it. And riders, again, a massive shout out to Topeak. Back to the video. Now, first up, why would I want to change my absolutely fantastic Levo Gen 4, which is already an absolute trail monster? It feels more than 160, 150. Why do I want to go even more? Well, first off, I love doing this stuff. I love geeking out. I love picking all these crazy new parts and showing you riders what they can do out in the trails. And secondly, a couple of months ago, I did the best Enduro e-bikes for 2025. And I did mention it in that video. If you made these changes, then I think possibly it would be one of, if not the best, Enduro e-bike of the year. So that's what we're gonna do. And do I think it's gonna be any better? This bike is absolutely sensational out in the trails. The Genie definitely feels like you have 10 or 20% more travel than 150. So I think it's gonna be better for some things and possibly not as good for others, but we're gonna find out. And the first component is the Cascade Long Link. So this is going to take the Levo from 150 to 170. It's also going to bring the progression from 12% to 30%. And riders, we're going to need a different shock, a 230x65. We'll talk about that in a second. So the Cascade Link is going to set you back around 350 euros plus import taxes to Spain. End up costing me 500 euros. So I hope it is good. And riders, before we crack on with the next product, a quick disclaimer. If you use the Cascade Long Link, you are probably going to void your warranty, so it'd be worth checking with your local dealer to find out. Now, onto suspension, and we have gone the brand new Fox DHX Live Valve Neo, and that's a 230x65 with a 550-pound spring. Now, I've always wanted to try this automatic suspension, and on a big bike like this, like 170 at the rear, I think it's going to be perfect. So when you're doing the fire roads, it's going to lock out your suspension. It actually samples the terrain 400 times a second and opens and closes the compression accordingly. So when you go on fire roads, it's going to lock out. It's going to conserve battery. Also, when you're doing technical climbs, it will lock out, make the bike more responsive. And in sort of pumpy trails and flatter trails, it will open and close the compression and make the bike feel more dynamic. I hate that word dynamic, but it will. It will lock it out. It will make you be able to pump sections better, and I think it's going to be a very interesting upgrade. And it doesn't come cheap. So the shock and all the sensors here, it's going to set you back around 13 to 1500 euros. And then onto the forks. So at the moment we're 160, we're going to go up to 180. And not all of you riders know this out there, but you can just change the air stroke, which is going to set you back around 130, 150 euros, and you go straight up to 180. We've also got a service kit here because done a fair bit of work on this bike, so we're going to do a lower leg service at the same time. So that is a super easy upgrade. And next up, so we're looking for compliance and suspension performance. So we have gone the brand new, highly talked about E13 Sidekick hubs and wheels here. They are super beautiful in person, riders. Had them for a couple of months, used them once. Very interesting system here. So what do? So they mitigate or take away pedal kickback. And you might be asking, what is pedal kickback? So when you're going downhill, your suspension compresses, the chain pulls your cranks backwards a little bit. And you know, we don't actually feel this out in the trail because we're used to it. But when I used this for the first time, I actually felt more balance on the bike. And because we're going up in travel here, I thought it'd be a very interesting upgrade. This is definitely not a cheap upgrade. This set of wheels is going to set you back about 2,000 euros. I believe you can buy the hubs as standalone. I think the rear hub is going to set you back about 500 euros. But riders, I did see on the E13 website, they got a Black Friday sale, 50% off these wheels right now. Check it out if you're interested. And also, obviously, if you're a fan of the channel, you would know we're clearly going to go Magic Marys front and back in the gravity casing, ultra soft on the front, 2.5 front and rear, and clearly in the radial construction. And riders, if you haven't tried these tires, I reckon, it is hard to quantify, but I reckon I'm getting around 10 or 15% more traction. Definitely try them out and let me know how you get on. And riders, they're going to set you back around 55 euros each if you can find them, because these tires have been so popular, they're sold out in a lot of places. So we're turning the Levo into a downhill sled. We're looking for as much compliance as we can get. So we are going the 1-Up version 2 carbon bar in a 50mm rise, cut to 770, because I'm actually going a little bit narrower. And riders, I have been riding these on all my personal bikes the last couple of months. I've been blown away with these bars. Okay, I did get the idea off Jackson Goldson, obviously the absolute legend, freak downhiller, so good. He's running these bars, and I'd say believe the hype. These bars really give you compliance. So they give you a little bit of flex when you're going down, but they still feel very sharp for turning. So they have the carbon feel for turning, but compliance of aluminium. Love these bars. And they're gonna set you back around 180 euros. And then onto my very well-used ODI long neck lock-on grips here. These are gonna set you back about 27 euros. They remind me of the BMX days. Big fan of these grips. So we've gone up in travel. We've got more compliance. We've got amazing tires. What do we need? Amazing braking. So we are changing the rotors on the Magura MT7s. We're going the Galfa Shark rotors here. And a massive shout out to Galfa, supporting the channel in 2026. So we're going to do a 223 on the front, a 203 on the back, and we're going performance brake pads front and rear. So the rotor is going to cost you around 70 to 80 euros per rotor, and the brake pads around 15 to 20 a set. And the last two products are probably not going to give you extra performance out in the trails, but I just love them. These Oak levers are so beautiful. If you're a fan of the channel, you would know I have MT7s on pretty much all my personal bikes. Well, I'm really liking the look of these levers, and also I love the fact that you have 2 adjustment points over my Bruni levers that only have 1. These levers definitely don't come cheap. They're going to set you back around 130 euros a pair. And then the Oak stem here. I'm a massive fan of stems. I collect stems like some people collect shoes. I love this stem. It is a 35-35. It's in like a bull burnished aluminium here. This stem, I think, has to be the most beautiful stem I've seen, and it's going to set you back around 150 euros. Now, watch the time lapse, because we're going to turn this beautiful trail bike into a e-Enduro monster. Let's get to it. Okay, riders, are we ready? The beast is together, and I'd be lying to say I did that much. Sam did pretty much 95% of it. I moved the cameras around, but check it out. There it is in all its glory. So let's do some close-ups of the bits and pieces. Let's start it from the back. So these are the Galfa rotors here. And we've got the Fox sensor here for live valve. Got the Sidekick hub here, looks beautiful. And check out these rims. These rims look awesome. I think they're going to be very compliant out in the trails. Obviously, magic mirror in the back and front. This one's a little bit worn. I've already ridden this one a bit, but I'll probably change it out pretty soon. Had to crank on the brand new Sam Hill pedals. Massive shout out to Nigel Page for sending them out of his personal stash. And here it is, the Cascade Long Link. Very beautiful design here. Sam said it went in very well designed. Actually had like retaining clips on the bearings he quite liked. And also the bolt is above here, which means if it does come loose, you don't have to take the whole thing apart to rebuild it or tighten it up. And then we've got the Fox Live Valve. So we'll come around to the other side and check that out. So I'm gonna play around with the app. So you've got your battery here. I think you turn it on here. And I've got to set it all up. But initial setup is very similar to a normal coil or a normal shock. I'm gonna set compression, sag, and rebound. And then I'll play around with the app and fine tune it. Then let's go onto the front here. And these are the Oak component levers. These levers are super beautiful. Really like these. And the stem. Check out that stem. So beautiful. And the bars, looking at the cockpit from how I'm gonna be sitting, this is a very high stack here. You know, I'm definitely following the trend of Jackson Goldston and Dak. You know, we're going up high on this stack now. What else? So we've got the Galfa rotor at the front here, and obviously the E13 rims, hubs, a nice magic mirror in the front. So yes, this is the beast put together. So what is the plan? Well, I want to go out and test it this weekend, but it actually started snowing. It's supposed to snow for 5 days in Madrid. I'm going to get out as soon as possible. We're going to POV, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on all these upgrades and how it compares to the original Levo Gen 4. And riders, like always, if you have any questions about this build or any other e-bike build I've done or anything I'm reviewing at the moment, hit me up in the comments. I love to help. And riders, you know it, stay safe out there on those trails. And if you haven't subscribed to Sam's Bikes, please do share it, like-minded people, and we are going to see you soon.